मैं नरेंद्र दामोदर दास मोदी ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगा। मैं भारत की प्रभुता और अखंडता अक्षुण्ण रखूंगा।
From fragile five to a shining star. Just a decade ago, Indian GDP was the 11th largest in the world. Now, with over 7% growth, Indian economy has overtaken the colonial ruler, United Kingdom, in terms of size, making it the 5th largest economy. GDP serves as a key metric for assessing the magnitude of a nation's economy, and India is emerging as a global leader and superpower. Strategic policies, commitment to reforms, and strong leadership led to India's economic transformation over the last decade. White paper on Indian economy contrasts the current regime under Prime Minister Modi with the previous United Progressive Alliance era, blaming policy paralysis, fiscal irresponsibility, and corruption for India's earlier struggles. When the NDA government took over the reins in 2014, the economy was in bad shape. India was among fragile five economies. Now, the government has fixed the economy, restoring its fundamentals to sound health. The country is among the top five economies, making the third highest contribution to global growth every year. The economy was faced with a twin balance sheet problem then. Now, the economy has twin balance sheet advantage for companies as well as banking sector, with ample capacity to ramp up investments and credit and generate employment. The economy then had double-digit inflation. Now, the inflation has been brought down to a little over 5%. We had a foreign exchange crisis then, and now we have record foreign exchange reserves of over $620 billion.
White paper has been laid on the table by a government which, after 10 full years of pulling out an Indian economy which was in a state of fragile five, to reach the stage of top five economy, it is a statement laid with responsibility. What effort it took for a Prime Minister with a vision to restore India to its glory. And in the last 10 years, that is exactly what has happened. What happened after 2008, when there was a global financial crisis, and what happened post the COVID, shows clearly that if the intent of the government is sincere, if niyat और नियम दोनों सही है तो अच्छा रिजल्ट मिलेगा। मोदी जी का उनके डेडिकेशन के वजह से आज देश उभर कर आ रही है, पूरे दुनिया में सम्मान हो रही है।
Prime Minister Modi is the boss.
Hello and welcome viewers. You're watching the special presentation of Sansad TV on White Paper on the Indian economy with your host Kriti Mishra. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman tabled a white paper in Parliament that compares how the Indian economy has fared under the BJP government from 2014 to 24 and the Congress-led UPA government from 2004 to 2014. A white paper is one that usually provides extensive data regarding a specific matter. The aim of the white paper is to foster better decision-making and present right solutions and recommendations for the actions ahead. The white paper presented by Finance Minister in Parliament credits the BJP government under Prime Minister Modi for turning around the country's economic prospects after coming to power and setting the economy on a recovery and growth path. In this edition, we have packed all the highlights for you. So come along. The UPA government inherited a healthy economy ready for more reforms, but made it non-performing in its 10 years. In 2004, when the UPA government began its term, the economy was growing at 8% amidst a benign world economic environment. Even as the country was standing at the cusp of emerging as a powerful economy, little was done by the UPA government to build upon the strong foundation laid by previous NDA government, led by Atal Bihari Vajpayee. In the years between 2008, the economy grew fast thanks to the lagged effects of the reforms of the NDA government and favourable global conditions. The UPA government, in its quest to maintain high economic growth by any means after the global financial crisis of 2008, severely undermined the macroeconomic foundations. Rather than employing quick fixes, the NDA government under Prime Minister Modi undertook bold reforms and built sturdy superstructure. The NDA government, armed with political and policy stability, took tough decisions for greater economic good, unlike its predecessor, the UPA. While outlining the objectives, the government said the White Paper seeks to apprise the members of Parliament and people of India of the nature and extent of governance, economic and fiscal crisis that were bequeathed by the NDA government when it assumed office in 2014. It aimed to inform about the policies and measures that the NDA government took to restore the health of the economy and make it vigorous, capable of fulfilling the growth aspirations of the people in Amrit Kaal.
इस देश में 12 दिन का दिल्ली में ही होने वाले कॉमनवेल्थ गेम्स का हालात क्या हुआ जी? पूरे दुनिया जानती, पूरा दुनिया देखा। टॉयलेट नहीं बन पाए, फ्लैट्स नहीं बन पाए, गेम्स विलेज नहीं बन पाए, करोड़ों रुपया का घोटाला हुआ और उसके बाद उसका विपरीत देखिए, कॉमनवेल्थ गेम्स का इतना फ्लॉप शो हुआ, भारत का बदनाम हुआ पूरे दुनिया में। दिल्ली में ही 12 दिन का कार्यक्रम, उसमें कॉमनवेल्थ गेम्स के द्वारा पूरे देश में बदनाम हुआ, पूरे विदेश में बदनाम हुआ हमारा। मगर आज देखिए G20 7 प्लेसेस में पूरे भारत देश में किसी एक स्टेट को छोड़ा नहीं। आप भी करो भैया, आप भी होस्ट करो, आपके चीफ मिनिस्टर भी उसमें बैठ जाओ और आपके लोकल प्रोडक्ट्स का भी उन विदेशी मेहमानों को दिखाओ, आपके टूरिज्म बढ़ाओ। ये सब करके पूरे देश को साथ लेकर के G20 को इतना शानदार तरीके से चलाया मोदी जी ने। देश का सम्मान विदेश में बढ़ा है, ना कि बर्बाद हुआ। ये कंपैरिजन लीजिए ना, ये दोनों का, ये व्हाइट पेपर उसके ऊपर भी बात कर रहे हैं।
So what has propelled the nation from fragile 5 to the world's 5th largest economy? Well, sound economic management. Let's analyze the data. And remember, data speaks louder than words. Inflation. It stood at 8.2% between financial year 2004 and financial year 14. Now it stands at 5%. GDP per capita. Then it stood at $3,889. Now it stands at $6,016. Capital expenditure. Then it touched 1.7%. Now it has touched a record high of 3.2%. Electronics exports. Then it stood at $7.6 billion. Now it stands at $22.7 billion. Foreign direct investment. Then it touched $305 billion. Now it has reached a staggering high of $596.5 billion. Multidimensional poverty. Then it was 29.2%. Now it has reduced to 11.3%. Indirect taxes. Then the rate stood at 15%. Now it has been reduced to 12.2%. Number of startups. Then it was barely 350. Now India boasts of more than 1,17,257 startups. Number of cities with metro rail. Then it was just 5. Now it stands at 20. National highway constructed length. Then the figure touched 25.7. Now the figure has crossed 54.9. Pace of highway construction. Then it stood at 12. Now it stands at 28.3. Electrified rail network. Then the figure touched 21.8. Now the figure has crossed 60.8. Number of airports. Back then, there were only 74 airports. Now, India boasts of 149 airports. Total installed power capacity. Then, it was 249. Now, we stand at 429. Installed renewable energy capacity. Then, it was 76. Now, it stands at 181. Logistics Performance Index. Then it was 54. Now India's ranking has improved to 38. Number of medical colleges. Then there were 387 medical colleges in the country. Now we have more than 706 medical colleges. In fact, seats in medical education have also increased. Then it stood at 51,348. Now it is over 1,08,940. Number of universities have also increased. Then the figure touched 676. Now the figure stands at 1,168. Global Innovation Index. Then it was 81. Now India has improved its ranking to 40. Number of LPG connections. Then the figure touched 14.5 crore. Now the figure has crossed 31.4 crore. Number of PNG connections. Then it was 22.3 lakh. Now it has crossed 119 lakh. Electrification status. Then it was 85.1%. Now the figure has touched 100%. Average availability of electricity in rural areas. Then it was barely 12 hours. Now it is more than 20.6 hours. Number of tap water connections in rural areas. Then it was 3.2 crore. Now the figure has touched 13.8 crore. Number of DBT beneficiaries. Then the figure stood at 10.8 crore. Now the figure has crossed 166 crore. Funds transferred to underprivileged households under various schemes. Then it was 7,367 crore. Now the figure has touched a record high of 7,16,396 crore. Base processed by urban local bodies. Then it was just 18%. Now it is more than 76%. The Union Finance Minister also said that the Modi government handled the much more deadly COVID crisis with sincerity and dedication, unlike the UPA government in 2008's global financial crisis. With its inherent resilience and the enabling structural reform measures announced in the last decade, the country is confident that Indian economy will be able to reach $7 trillion GDP mark before 2030. The comparison shown in this white paper clearly shows that with true sincerity, transparency, the NDA government under Prime Minister Modi has been putting the nation first, and the results are here for everyone to see. Well, viewers, that's all we had for you in this edition. Thanks for watching and stay tuned to Sansad TV. Goodbye for now from my side.